Okay, so hear me out, okay? It's Friday morning. It was kind of chilly out here in the country this morning. I'm Matt Pierce, by the way. This is the podcast, the Matt Pierce podcast. And on today's episode, we're talking about food. And here in South Texas, food is not just sustenance, okay? It's culture, it's identity, and it's pride all wrapped up in a flour tortilla. Okay. I mean, when it comes to a breakfast menu, the argument from people, and I've heard this for 43 years now. Okay. Is it a breakfast taco or is it a breakfast burrito? And while they may seem like cousins on the surface, anyone from South Texas will tell you that these two things are really worlds apart. And so on this podcast today, on this episode, my goal is to set the record straight from a South Texan's perspective. Okay, from my perspective as a South Texan. And you know, breakfast tacos are quintessentially South Texan. I mean, they really are. They're personal, they're unassuming, they're packed with just the right amount of soul and love and slop, right? I mean, made with a fresh, hand-pressed tortilla, usually always flour here in South Texas, usually, though some will argue for corn, and I occasionally do flip sides there to the corn side. But a breakfast taco is really, to me, about balance. And it doesn't have to overwhelm you at all. It has to just invite you in, right? It has to say, hey, come and stick this, in your mouth and let it flow to your gut and just enjoy it, right? This is a breakfast taco. I mean, the breakfast taco is love, man. It's love. I mean, now the filling is usually simple and it's honest. I mean, my personal favorite is potato and egg. I love potato and egg. Sometimes I'll go with chorizo and egg. Sometimes I'll go with bacon and egg. Even a bean and cheese. I'll rock a bean and cheese taco in the morning. But think about this, and I kind of wish I had one here, but each taco is small enough to eat with one hand, while you're driving or you're sitting on the tailgate of the pickup at a come to Jesus meeting or something, I mean, these things are portable, they're practical, they're perfect on the go, or they're perfect to sit in a cafe there off 1604 and eat them, right? This is the go-to breakfast for most South Texans. I mean, you take this thing and you pick it up with your thumb and your first two fingers there, and you just pick it up and you bite into it. Man, there's nothing better. There's really nothing better. And I think what sets a taco apart is its humble roots. There's humility in a breakfast taco. It's not trying to impress you. It doesn't need to. It's a breakfast taco. It's not trying to impress you. And its authenticity shines. The simpler it is, the more beautiful this thing is. A taco is an everyday celebration of our culture here in South Texas. No frills, just flavor, good, quick, good to eat stuff. That's a breakfast taco. That's a breakfast taco. And like I say, it's as much about culture and identity as it is a name. Okay? Now we're going to talk a little bit about these things people call burritos, which is, in my opinion, a very different beast entirely. Oversized, tightly wrapped. They're like a breakfast taco's big cousin, right? They're kind of this flashy thing that comes out here from California. And this is true. The origins of a breakfast burrito are more closely tied to California and northern Mexico. In South Texas, the breakfast burrito never just really felt like home. So if you think of a breakfast burrito, that's northern Mexico, California, all that. But here in Texas, especially South Texas, it's very different. And I think the difference here is size, right? So size matters, okay? And a breakfast burrito is really a meal in itself. And it's loaded with multiple ingredients. You're talking eggs, sausage, potato, cheese, maybe some peppers and onions, beans, whatever. All that stuffed into a single size, like a oversized tortilla. It's not exactly handheld friendly, unless you've got one serious grip. This is a breakfast burrito is kind of the thing that you sit down with both hands, maybe even I dare to say a knife and a fork. But in South Texas, generally we see the breakfast burrito as overkill, right? It's just too much. Sure, it's got a lot going on, but where's the charm? Where's the personality? Where's the love in this friggin' thing? It's just too much. It's too much of everything and not enough of what matters. It's not enough about connection. It's not enough of tradition. It's not enough authenticity. It's just not enough. And so the breakfast taco and the breakfast burrito come from the same family, I think, but they're all very different. They're all extremely different. Now, at its heart, the difference between breakfast tacos and breakfast burritos, I think it comes down to more than size, more than ingredients. It's about what they represent. Okay, so this is, now we're getting into it. This is about representation. Okay. You see, breakfast tacos and breakfast burritos represent two very, very different things. Breakfast tacos are really woven into the fabric of South Texas life. And there's something you pick up from the roadside taqueria, your favorite mom and pop spot, served with, a smile, a sarcastic comment, and a side of picante sauce that might bring a tear to your eye. They feel very personal. Breakfast tacos feel very personal, like they were made just for you, right? Even though there's hundreds of them back there in the kitchen waiting to be sold. Breakfast tacos feel much more personal, much more natural. And I think breakfast burritos, on the other hand, feel much more impersonal. So they're efficient, they're big, they're filling, they're fine for what they are, but they lack the soul of a good breakfast taco. I think that's the difference. It's about identity. Breakfast tacos represent more of the identity of South Texas. The more personal, the more human, the more natural element versus the impersonal. Now, here in South Texas, it's a matter of pride. We take our breakfast tacos very seriously. They're not just a meal. So now that we've established that breakfast tacos are more than this, they're an identity, we're going to talk about how breakfast tacos are not just a meal. They're a reflection of the culture. They're a reflection of who we are. They're the fuel that powers farmers, that powers roughnecks, that powers teachers and everyone in between. Somehow a breakfast taco is like this daily reminder that the best things in life don't need to be big and flashy and pretty. They just need to be real. They need to be raw. That's what a breakfast taco represents. So I'm going to tell you, the next time you're in South Texas, skip the burrito, grab a taco, and I believe this, you're going to taste the difference. You're going to taste a little bit of the South Texas personality in every single bite. I really believe this. I think this is so true. That's the big difference between tacos and burritos. Breakfast tacos, breakfast burritos is the personality and the relationship to the culture. I think that's a huge thing. So I don't know. That's my take. That's my take on it. I've been living here in South Texas since the day I was born. I was born here. This is home. Granted, I've lived all over, California, Kansas, all over the place, right? There's nothing quite like a breakfast taco. It's not the same. It is just not the same. Because you're really feeling that love that comes with a breakfast taco. What do you think? There's some great places to get breakfast tacos. Down in my hometown of Floresville, Taco El Rey, that's a good place. You can find, I mentioned this in the video, you can find Jalisco's does a pretty good one. All these little Jalisco places, you can get a nice breakfast taco there. But one of my favorites, absolutely one of my favorites, La Cabana out there in South Bexar County. Beautiful, beautiful place. It's not much to look at, but it's a cool little place. I generally stay away from the chains, but you can go to La Palapas, or you can go to, even Taco Cabana. I think you can get a nice breakfast taco at Taco Cabana. That's been the fuel of South Texas for years. Taco Cabana breakfast tacos. It's great. It's great, man. It's great. So I think you got to go out and find you a breakfast taco. I do. I think that's kind of the heart and soul of it all. Find you a breakfast taco and see what it represents. See what it really represents. Hey, I'm Matt. This is the podcast where I talk about my home, South Texas. I'm here in my studio having conversations with you about South Texas, my home, where I'm from, where my ancestors are from. I am deeply South Texan, and this is what this is all about. So let's have a conversation, okay? And next time you're in South Texas, be sure to grab you a breakfast taco, all right? Be sure to do this, okay? Because you're going to taste the love in it, for sure. You're going to taste the love in it. All right, y'all, thanks for watching. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps the channel out. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Go out and enjoy your weekend. It's 44 degrees here in South Texas, here in my neck of the woods. So anyway, feel free to give me a buzz, drop me a comment, and hey, do me a favor, really subscribe, really. And be sure to pick you up some of that merch over on the website, all right? Take care of yourself. We'll see you. Adios.